welcome back to the second part of Module 5, What's Wrong? What's Wrong is the second phase of the four-part call flow. In Part 1, we looked at why listening is important and touched on basic information that is gathered at the beginning of the call. This is where listening carefully is very important. In the second part of Module 5, continue with providing courteous customer service to the retail associate throughout the call and listen to the customer's needs. You will be able to demonstrate how to appropriately put the customer on hold, and you can list the ways that it is difficult to listen. It's amazing to think that between 70 to 80% of our waking hours is spent in some form of communication. Did you know that? And listening is really important. Listening matters. In all of our communication skills, guess where we spend the most time? That's right, listening. A study found that we typically only spend about 9% of our time writing. Yet, if you recall growing up, we spent a lot of time learning how to write. We do spend about 16% of our time reading. And as Lee and Hattusall observed, formal communication skills focus more on writing, reading, and speaking. Yet, we get much less instruction on learning to listen, the very activity we do the most in the realm of communication. And how about a piece of pie? This communication pie chart shows the distribution of the communication modes. Listening at 45% over on the right has almost half the communication pie. Talking at 30% counts for 1/3 of all communication. That's significant. Reading at 16%, not a big surprise. People love their videos in multimedia. And then writing at 9%. That is or was a surprise to me. Yet thinking back, there are a lot of people that don't particularly care to write. Okay. But the point is, for these modes of communication that we do far less, we have spent way more time learning than we have learning how to listen, which is one reason why it's hard for us. Have you ever found your mind wandering while you're listening to someone and maybe you drift to things you've got to do, your chores, your grocery shopping, the travel coming up, the weekend coming up. I mean, it can be all kinds of things, you know, your budget, a conversation that you had with someone else. Well, the reason is we think faster than we speak, which is one of the reasons why listening can be so hard. Apparently, we just have more spare mental bandwidth than we use when listening. We speak at about 125 words per minute, while we can think at about 400 words per minute. So that's quite the gap. That means only 25% of our mental capacity is used while we're listening, and the other 75% is free to wander. Let's talk a little bit about listening retention, or not. Right after listening to a 10-minute presentation, most people retain about 50% of what they've heard. Within 48 hours, it drops to 25%. What can we do? Well, one popular solution is that we speak less and listen more. Or I'd rather say, speak less and listen more actively, because we need to be ready to listen. We need preparation. This is one reason why listening and retention can be so difficult, because we're not ready. Apply that to our situation in the service desk where we are listening all day long, and there is a huge multiplier effect on the challenge. In addition to preparing to listen, while you are listening or immediately after, acknowledge that you have listened. This is one of the important aspects of active listening. Even just saying uh-huh or mm-hmm is an acknowledgement. Then paraphrase what you have heard. In other words, say in your own words what you thought you heard, so that the caller or the speaker can verify that you got it right. I mean, you could have misunderstood. And before you begin troubleshooting, you want to be sure that you have listened well and have some idea of what is going on. Be prepared to listen. That means being present. So in other words, put your problems on the back burner. Get ready to focus. You don't want to be distracted with your mind wandering while you're trying to listen to someone who's trying to get you to solve their problem. Now, if you are, for some reason, distracted or unable to focus, take a break, relax, get ready to focus. Being comfortable is also important for listening. If you're too hot or too cold in your work environment, find a way to fix that. Otherwise, your discomfort could cause you to lose focus on the customer. True story, one of my coworkers at the service desk was always too cold and actually brought in a blanket to work. And it wasn't just a regular blanket, it was one of those blankets that people use to watch TV where it's like a little sack. Your feet go in and then it covers you up. Anyway, though it was really funny to look at for the rest of us, it kept her warm and she was able to work, and she was a top producer. So she kept her little blanket in her locker and brought it out whenever it was too cold. That's an example of someone making themselves comfortable so that they can perform their job, in this case, a job that requires a lot of listening. Now, I have a demo for you. It's about what could happen on a call where the analyst is not ready to listen because of being uncomfortable.
Now, let's see. Can you please tap the down arrow on the printer menu until you see the word text, and then press the OK button.
Okay. Oh, I see how this works. Okay, done. Okay, now there's another menu.
Okay, good. And if you will tap the down arrow until you see font size, and again press OK.
Okay, I just did. I'm not seeing anything that says font size. Maybe I missed it. Could I have gone past it?
I'm sure it's possible. Can you hit the up arrow and go back and look to see if you can find it? I'm sure it's there.
Cindy, you sound upset. You're sighing. I'm sorry I missed that item.
Oh, John, pardon me, please. This isn't about that at all. I'm so sorry. The room is really hot in here, and I can hardly think.
Okay, well, that sounds terrible that you have to work like that.
Well, actually, no worries. I do have a fan that I'm going to plug in, and I'm so sorry that this interrupted our call.
Have you ever felt just too tired to listen? It happens. There are some things you can do. Take some deep breaths, a little oxygen can do your brain a lot of good. Take a walk, moving around, even standing up for a minute or two at your desk can help. Some people get a caffeinated beverage, but if you don't want coffee or caffeine, even drinking water can help. After all, our brain needs water to conduct electrical signals for all of our thinking and sensory processing, including hearing and listening. This next demo illustrates what could happen to any of us when we're just too tired to listen.
So after spending 20 minutes entering my third quarter budget forecast in the online financial application, which is due to today, by the way, and I'm behind, and now I have this to deal with, I clicked the update button and the word server error popped up in the red text. With a ton of other stuff on the screen, it's still on the screen now.
Okay, so your screen froze in the financial forecasting application while you were entering something?
Yeah, budget forecasting. It's part of the financial suite. We have to submit it today for the third quarter.
Oh, okay. Excuse me. So you were working on budget forecasting when you received the error about the server, and then what happened?
Well, I called you and I left the screen the way it was.
Oh, right. I got it. Sorry about that. Can you read me the error information?
Seriously? It's a server error. I'm really pressed for time here, hon.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I really need to document that error.
Okay, but there's a lot on there. Here's what it says at the top of the screen. Server error in / application. The remote server returned an error, 400 bad requests. Then it says unhandled exception occurred during the execution of the current web request and review the stack trace. Please review the stack trace. And it goes on and on with a bunch of stuff that all looks Greek to me.
Excuse me. Okay, so you received a server error, and then can you repeat that again, please?
Are you kidding me? I'm in a hurry.
I'm sorry. I am so sorry. Could you just please repeat
I
it?
don't have time for this. Is there someone else I can talk to?
This experience of being interrupted, breaking the flow of thought. But hey, don't interrupt. Not only is it rude, but you may miss something really important and you'll never get it back.
You said that you were typing in something and the monitor went out?
That's right. I was working in the signing application, and just as I was in.
Oh, I see. And is there power on the monitor right now?
Yes, I see light on, but the screen isn't on.
Okay, sounds like a loose connection. We can fix this by checking cable. Would you please power off the screen, and then let's unplug it from the back of the computer and plug it back in, and then unplug the cable from the monitor and plug it back in.
Well, okay. I don't see how this is going to take care of the problem, but I'll do this. Okay. It's done, but there's still no...
Well, excuse me. We will need to troubleshoot the cable first. So let's go to another workstation and shut it down, remove the monitor cable, and swap it out with this one. We have to.
What? Wait. That just isn't making sense.
I understand that this is inconvenient, but before we replace the monitor, we need to make sure the problem isn't being caused by the cable.
Okay, now I really need to check my email really quickly. My boss told me it was urgent. Can you give me 1
Are you
minute?
are you going to another computer?
Oh, no, I can do it right now. I have the email app open.
Oh, so your screen is working.
Well, yeah, but the signing application.
Have you tried reopening the signing application?
Well, no, I was working in it and it flashed a message and then disappeared.
Okay, okay. Do you remember what the message was?
Invalid character, I think.
Okay, can you please try opening the application again?
Sure, okay. Wow. Here we go. It's back up.
Why don't you walk me through the steps you were taking, and I will connect to your computer, and we will see if there is something we can do to work around this.
Okay. Let's see. I click the icon.
Okay. Okay, go ahead.
I get the logon prompt and I'm putting in my name and password.
Mm-hmm.
The menu is coming up and let's see, here it is. And it says Markdown. So I click that.
Okay. Please let me know what the field name is and what you are typing in.
Okay. Brand, CJ's is what I'm typing in. Item, barn jacket. Markdown field 20%. Oops! Oh no, there it goes again. Invalid character. And poof,
Okay.
I've lost the screen.
Okay, can you tell me what keys you pressed?
Yeah, 2 and 0 and then the percent sign.
I think I know what happened. Let's try again, but this time in the markdown field, only put the 20. I think the field doesn't like the percent sign. Can you please give this a try?
Okay, well, do you need to know what I'm typing in again?
No. Please proceed. And remember, do not use the percent sign.
Okay. Okay, done. It's working. Hey, this is great. I needed this sign yesterday. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Glad to be able to help. Please let us know if you need anything else. Would you like to have your incident number?
Yes, let me write that down.
Okay, it is 527-3412.
Got it. Thanks.
You're welcome. Have a great day.
You too. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Here's a call tip. There may be occasions when, for whatever reason, you need to put someone on hold, and perhaps your supervisor needs to ask you a quick question, or coworker, or you have to do some extensive research yourself. So always be courteous. Always be courteous. And ask the person on the other end of the line for their permission and let them know why. This gets their agreement to be put on hold. Psychologically, getting agreement is beneficial for you because it means subconsciously they are cooperating, which makes it helpful to get through the call. And it's much less likely that they're going to be dissatisfied with the call in some way, particularly if they're waiting. Because they've said it was okay, because you were very polite and asked for their permission. This next demo illustrates putting someone on hold. Have you ever felt like this guy? Like you could just starve to death before someone took you off hold? I mean, calling the phone company, the electrical company, or a government federal agency. I mean, there's all kinds of places that have so much high volume of call. Oh, insurance. That's another one. Anyway. I just thought you might enjoy this little cartoon. The point is, people perceive the amount of time they're on hold to be actually longer than their hold time. No one should be on hold longer than 2 minutes unless they have agreed to it specifically. When you get back on the line, immediately thank them for holding. Again, a little bit of courtesy goes a long way towards a smooth, pleasant service call for both ends of the phone. It's a win-win, and that's what we're after. Let's recap what we've learned in Module 5, Part 1 and 2. In the What's Wrong section, we listen to gather information, to show concern, and to be respectful. We actively listen by acknowledging the speaker, being prepared to listen, and paraphrasing back what we've heard to confirm our understanding of the problem before we move on. And here we are, back to activity time in Canvas. Way to go. You're halfway there. Please go to Canvas when you're ready and proceed with the exercises.